Oh, hello and welcome to United Stand. Getting a bit comfy in my chair there. First of all, let's fly straight into this. Loads to get through to. Another daily Manchester United transfer news live. I want your comments. Loads of players to get through. An interesting development in relation to a director of football as well, which I think is massive and I've been going on about that for a while. However, first thing I want to say is what I've noticed at the moment is the jelly babies, the Arsenal fans, if you bite into it, they're very bitter at the moment. Like Liverpool fans, Chelsea fans, Man City fans, they're all getting bitter and I absolutely love it. You know, when they sign like Mane or somebody like that, or Xhaka or whatever their crappy name is, or this Chelsea player that they've gone and bought, I forget the name, you'll type it in there. Crystal Palace put a £31 million bid in. The first thing they do is quote stats and say he's better than Martial. He's better than Martial. And it's hilarious. And you know what? Fair play for you if you wanted to get into those sort of arguments. But Martial's Premier League proven. He's going to be one of the best players in the world. We know it. Let them be bitter. I don't care. They're getting bitter because they're terrified. They need to go out and buy a packet of Pampers because they're absolutely crapping themselves that we've got Mourinho. We're suddenly decent in the transfer market and we can't ever be as bad as we've been for the last 3 years. I love it. It's time to shut up shop though. We've had a lot of self-pity over the last 3 years saying, oh, everyone else is better than us. Fair play, fair play. Stop. We're Manchester United. We're arrogant because we're better. Shut up shop. Let them all take a pop at us like they used to, and let's just do our thing because that's what it's all about, Manchester United. Everyone jealous and we do our thing. Siege mentality. I've had my say anyway. Zlatan, let's cover that quick one. We've talked about Zlatan so much. I'm massively, massively excited. This video is going out Wednesday evening. Friday is the day, apparently. I've not heard anything that it's Friday, but all the media outlets are saying Friday. It's going to be announced. Fingers crossed, because I know we sort of know it's going to happen and we've known it for a long time. But when it actually happens, I promise you, I'll do a dance. I'll do the Pardew dance. I'll do any dance because I think it's that important. And I personally am very excited about it. And I think it'll be the signing of the summer. And although I think we could go and blow ridiculous amounts, I mean, I was reading before we came on air there, two very interesting things. They're from foreign papers. I'm not covering them massively tonight, but Neymar, apparently we'll pay any price for him. And this is the one I really like. Galatasaray, I think it's Galatasaray, where Wesley Sneijder plays. I may have got that wrong. They want to do a part exchange, Sneijder for Fellaini. I mean, Sneijder, we've been buying him. We've already bought him anyway, every summer for the last 10 years. But Patrick A, brilliant comment, actually. That had slipped my mind. BBC confirmed Zlatan on Friday. As I always say, if BBC confirms something, it's pretty much solid. He's ours 100%, says Noah. Ibra so slow. BBC confirmed it, as Patrick said. Neymar is great. Did Mkhitaryan's price go up? Quickly on Mkhitaryan, then, he wasn't really what I wanted to talk about. I've got 4 or 5 players I want to talk about and the director of football. 1 minute video. We spoke last night. All I'm going to say is thin ice, the thinnest of ice. Mkhitaryan, Sky Sports said on Monday, didn't they, that it was 23.6 million deal agreed. And then we're hearing today Dortmund are going to make their mind up at the weekend, but they're very impressed by Manchester United's increase. The bottom line is, I don't care how much we pay. He's a very, very good player. His assists, his previous record, not just in Germany, in Russia, and for his national team, which is poor, he's got consistently the same stats all along. He's 27, he's banging his prime. He'd be brilliant on the right midfield. He can play centre attacking midfielder. He's quick. He's got a great shot on it. He's got absolutely everything. We want to buy him. I think he's falling into that Zlatan category. Liverpool just paid £34 million for Mane. This is a player Louis van Gaal wanted to buy for Manchester United. That's what I think of Mane. Decent player, but he's in and out. He's inconsistent, and I'm not worried about Liverpool signing him at all. That's a signing to hopefully finish 5th for them. Mkhitaryan's on a different plane. So if we have to pay 30 million or 34 million pound for him, you know what? I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. It would have been nice to say we got him for 24 million, 10 million pounds less than Mane, but you know, who cares? We should sign Lord Bentner as a joke signing, says Patrick Anderson. Jamie Armband says Mane is shit. Yeah, I know what you mean. Dortmund have said they want to finalise the exit before the pre-season starts, 4th of July. So this weekend it should be done. If I was predicting, Adamya's talking about Mbola. If you watch the United Stand every day when we do videos, Adamya, you'd know I've apologised and you'd know I've explained it. And if you ever want a little detail of how transfer deals work, drop me an email and I'll reply sometime in 10 years. what we were on about? I've lost it. Yeah, if I was predicting anything, I'd think Zlatan on Friday and Mkhitaryan maybe Saturday or Sunday. I'm thinking Sunday because then Mourinho is doing his press conference on Tuesday. So that's up to date on the big deals that I think are going to happen. Let's fly into some of the stuff that's been coming out today, and there is a lot to talk about. Interesting. A lot of you like Julian Draxler. Give us your thoughts on that. Marnie's a good squad player at best, says Football Focus. I agree with that. But Julian Draxler, I'm filling so you can all start catching up because I know you're 30 seconds behind me. Jamie Armband wants me to block 1 minute videos. I think he wants to be blocked as well. Julian Draxler then, 10 to 1 to come to Manchester United. Something's happened on Monday, and then today it's come down to 3 to 1. Well, 3 to 1 is not massive. I mean, we've had players like last summer. I think Ramos was odds on to come to Manchester United, and obviously he didn't. So it doesn't mean anything massively. And why would you go for Draxler when you've got Mkhitaryan? Although Mkhitaryan can play number 10, probably cost about £30 million. What do I think about Draxler? We talked about him a bit before, didn't we? I think he struggles for pace, and I know that people are going to moan about that, but he isn't fast. What he's fast with is dribbling, and that makes him look deceptively fast. But if we knock a ball over the top and he's running against someone like Luke Shaw will burn him. I mean, I know that's not going to happen, but Kyle Walker or someone like that in opposition, they will absolutely destroy them for pace. Emma, I've picked up on your comment about the shirt. I'm fully aware of it, but this is a transfer shirt at the moment, and I haven't had a chance to do that. But just to let you know that I have registered your comment. So yeah, Draxler, 22, 23 in October, both footed, very skillful, very creative, can score goals, lacks pace. That's my get out. I think pace isn't massively important, but it is to Manchester United. Even stupid Van Gaal realised that. We need pace. It's not because you've got to have pace in every position. It's because Manchester United's squad lacks pace. Apart from Martial and Rashford, we lack pace. So everybody we sign, really, especially if they're going to be wide men or attacking midfielders, they've got to be quick. Mkhitaryan's quick. That's what we need. Zlatan, his pace doesn't matter. He's a number 9. But then that does show that we need pace around Zlatan because he's very good with his back to the ball. And he'll feed people running on from him. So pace is the thing for me for Draxler. I wouldn't be disappointed if we sign him. I know a lot of you like him. Schwabney makes a good point. We've got to give Pereira a chance. Zlatan has signed, says J. Reaper. No, he hasn't. Any chance of signing Neymar, says Candy Pamal? I don't think so. I think there's more chance of getting Pogba. Tyler, do we even need Draxler with Mkhitaryan coming in? I agree with that. I don't think we do. Impressed in the Euros, Nicholas was by Draxler. And we don't need Draxler. Zlatan isn't even slow. He isn't actually that slow. I think you're right. There you go. Draxler too ugly. Talk about Tony Cruz, says Noah. Mark, block him, please. The Sky Sports comments for everybody on there, they're just trolling you. And if they want to get blocked and not be involved in the United Stand Live comments, which is exactly what this is all about, then we can block people. But the Sky Sports stuff, just don't listen to it. We're talking about realistic things here. So yeah, Draxler for me, I'd be worried about the pace. Do we need him anyway with Mkhitaryan? Zlatan is God, says Jamie Armband. I agree with that. Lewis Smith wants me to block 1 minute videos. Next time he comes up on there, I'll do something. Don't worry. I've seen your name 1 minute videos, and I can do it. So let me just tell you that it can happen. Next one I want to talk about, Raphaél Varane. Again, there's a couple of things coming from Spain at the moment, but what I want to just say very quickly is if you didn't see the Paul Pogba video, it's only 3 or 4 minutes. I put it up this morning at about 8 o'clock. Do watch what I said about AS, because AS are the ones feeding the Pogba rumour. And what I've said is that there's 2 strands of thought with this. We're really in for Pogba, or we're being played to get him a move to Real Madrid, which is what I always fear when Real Madrid are involved. I think AS are saying, oh, he's nearly going to United because they want to provoke Madrid, the club that they basically support, into getting, their arse in gear and going for Pogba. And that has sort of developed a little bit more today, with AS now saying that Pogba wants to go to Real Madrid and will stay at Juventus. I think that's a big thing about Pogba. I'm very big on this loyalty thing. And if Pogba, and there's something in the Manchester Evening News as well, that Pogba's been told by his agent to go and play under Mourinho for 3 years and then go to Madrid in his mid-20s. Well, I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested in that at all. That's not what we are. We're a long way off, but we are trying to make strides. Winter is coming to beat those scummy gits from Madrid. The actually scum club who boo their own players. I don't want anything to do with them. I don't want to be a feeder club to them. And if that's Pogba's plan, like a lot of you have said, to be honest, and like Jamie Sheridan's there, he's saying he's overrated. I don't think he's overrated. I think he'd be a fantastic signing, but I think there's better signings that could help Manchester United. I mean, I could see where Kroos could come in, Modric, Kante. They'd go into those two defensive midfield positions. Pogba, I don't know. I think he would cause more problems than it's worth. Man United should get Lewandowski, says Rock My Hood. He's not had a great Euros, but he's a decent player. But I think we've got Zlatan, and he's the one who does it for me. Varane was who was going to talk about. Raphaél Varane. We need a centre-back. I think I'm interested to see what you think about this, because we touched on it a few weeks ago. It's gone very quiet. I think we'll sign another centre-back for one of two reasons, really. Bailly is young and raw. If you've seen him play, he's going to be a very good player, but he's going to be a very transitional season for him. And if you want to get in the top four or challenge for the title, hopefully, Bailly and Smalling as centre-backs doesn't work. Daley Blind doesn't work. He's not a title-winning centre-back. So I think we are in the market for another centre-back. Everybody knows I want Manolas. A lot of you want Varane or John Stones. Maybe said John Snow. He's not available. He's the king of the north. But John Stones or Varane. I like John Stones. I think Mourinho likes John Stones. I'd like to go toe-to-toe with Pep and City and get him. He's Premier League proven as well. And I think he's played under an attacking idiotic manager in Martinez, and under somebody who knows how to deal with centre-backs. I think John Stones would go strength to strength under Mourinho. Varane is a very good centre-back. Madrid probably would want to get rid of him because he's on the bench. It would free up some money, funnily enough, for them to go and buy Pogba, because they're desperately trying to sell Rodriguez at the moment, and now Chelsea and City apparently want Rodriguez, another player that you want. Varane, what can I tell you about Varane? 6'2". I think he is, I've got it written down here. He's 23, 24, not until next April. So he's only just 23. Got a lot of development to do. Not Premier League proven. That would concern me. Slightly injury prone. Very strong, very quick, very good on the ball. If we buy Varane, I'm not sad. I'm happy. If we got Manolas, I'm ecstatic. If we get John Stones, I'm slightly happier than I am if we get Varane. If we get one of those three, I'll be ecstatic. I think we need a centre-back. I don't know what you lot think. I really do think we do need a centre-back. And because also what I wanted to say as well was that Chris Smalling, I think I really do like Chris Smalling, but he didn't fill himself with brilliance, did he, in the Euros? I think he's always got a mistake in him, and I think he's always he's still learning. And I think, you know, he could get an injury. We can't rely on Phil Jones. We can't rely on Rojo. I think we need to buy another centre-back. I'd be amazed if we don't. I don't know what your thoughts are on that. Madrid will need to sell big to buy big, says Nicholas Anderson. Yeah, I agree with that. Rate Varane higher than Stones, says Gino Bass. If Mourinho can fix Jones, we'll have a fantastic stopper on our hands, but he's made of glass, says Connor. I'm not a Phil Jones fan. The only thing I could say fair to Phil Jones is that he's had shin splints last summer. And I said last summer, I had shin splints when I was about 15. You never get over it. You pick up all sorts of injuries. And he was already injury prone anyway. He's about as useful as a chocolate teapot. Varane, Dybala is a good signing, says James Holstenstein. Apparently he's just turned down a move to Barcelona. Patrick A says Laporte, question mark. He was going to City, but he turned them down and signed the new deal at Bilbao. Top bloke. Furious Falcon just wants to go and watch Sky Sports. Nothing's happening there, mate, unless you want to talk about minor signings like for Chelsea. This is a Manchester United fan channel. And if you think I'm doing a live stream without knowing what's going on Sky Sports and the BBC, as I said last night, you're just trolling people on there. Stop doing it or you'll get blocked, because that's what people want. Not me. I don't care if you can keep saying Sky Sports all you want. J-Ax, Mark, what about the recent rumours about 20-year-old Mike Hunt from Middlesbrough? You've had me there, you bastard. But the next one I want to talk about is this is, if you're interested in Manchester United, and I always think United stand, we've been doing this for a year and a half. It's always about you. It's always about these live comments. It's always about the information that you give us. And Sky Sports is on a break. Someone's just said, good one. It's always about the interaction and everything like that. And I think you get a different, the conversations we have are a lot deeper than, oh, like my video, oh, this might happen, oh, we might sign Neymar. We try to avoid that sort of thing because it's just sensationalist. I said, about 2 months ago, I did a video about the Atletico Madrid sporting director, Berta. Is it Andrea Berta? Probably the best director of football in world football, and we need a director of football. You can't put it all onto Mourinho to sort it out, although I think he's done a brilliant job. Ed Woodward, let him go and do the noodle deals. We need a director of football. Interesting today, I don't know whether anybody picked up on this, but Louis Campo, a Monaco sporting director for the last 3 years. You think about the sort of players they've brought in over, I don't know whether it's the last 3 years, but they got Rodriguez, Moutinho, but they've done decent deals for a very small club that's, their average attendance, well, it's Monaco, they probably get about 5 people there, but obviously it's a rich club. He's done good things. He's left looking for new challenges. He's very good friends with George Mendes and Jose Mourinho. If I wanted a director of football, it would be Atletico Madrid's director of football, Berta. But this lad, Campo, Louis Campo, he's got a good reputation. I don't know loads about him, but it is encouraging that we might get a director of football in, because I think that's massively important for Manchester United. Aubameyang is a must signing for United, says Joe Kelly. That's not going to happen. I think City were after him as well, and he said no. Mark, what about Valencia, 14-year boy wonder United interested in? Yeah, I forget the name of that one, Sam Vids 93, but it's always encouraging that we're after young players. I know Arsenal are as well, but there we go. Carlo Campo says I'm 5'8". I'm not. Imagine Pogba and Fellaini. What, in a fight? I'm backing Pogba. What's the difference between Rooney and my wife? Rooney still sucks after 10 years, says Mr. Still Puffin. Manolas or Varane, who's better in your opinion, and who will be a better signing? I like Manolas. I love Manolas. He's, I think he's 24, Greek, playing for Roma. He's got great recovery pace for I think he's about 6'2", very strong. Deals with small players quite well if you think like your Aguero's, but obviously he's very good in the air. He'd be my signing. I really like Manolas. Granted, I've only seen him I try and watch most of the top leagues and the top teams, like the top 5 or 6 teams, 5 times a season if I can. And I saw Roma a few times last year. I really like him, and they're trying their best to pin him down to a new contract. So he's gone very quiet, but I'd be happy with Varane, Manolas or Stones. But if I was making the choice, it would be Manolas. Nagongolan, I can't do it. Chelsea are after him, Philo. Mark, Mertens, Carrasco, Cruz, Danilo, Manolas, says J-Ax. I think that's a fair comment. You know what? There will be, we can talk about everybody we like, but there will be a couple of signings that we're not aware of, or we don't. Well, we might be aware of them, but they're very left field. You think about Darmian last year; it just comes from nowhere. Bailly already. I think there will be at least another one that's a bit like that. And I'm really excited to see who's going to leave, because I think that we've got to clear up some room, because even just financially, clear the wage bill and clear a bit of space. Your squad can't be infinite. I think Giggs, I just want to say very quickly, I'm really going to skim over this. Ryan Giggs, tomorrow, Thursday night, Portugal-Poland, is doing punditry for ITV Euro 2016. His contract ends on Friday and pre-season starts on Monday. If he's doing games for the ITV in France, I know he can fly back on that, but that to me is a massive indication that he's going. We've more or less heard that he's going anyway, and I think he will be going. Obviously, we'll react to that at the time. But there was even rumours that Gary Neville might be coming in as part of the coaching staff. I'd love Gary Neville to come in. I think Giggs needs to go and spread his wings. Rooney, Matt and Fellaini all need to go. Right, and I just want to touch on Morata as well. We've done a video on Morata. I mean, does anybody want Morata? I know you were talking about it before we came on air. I don't think he covered himself in glory in the Euros. I think we knew from before, if we weren't going to get Zlatan, then you've got to start looking at other options. But if we're getting Zlatan, we don't need Morata anyway. I think Morata, the difference between Zlatan and Morata is massive. But Zlatan was feeding on scraps for Sweden. Morata was getting a lot of chances for Spain. He scored a couple, he missed a few. And his stats, goals to game ratio for Juventus and Madrid isn't prolific. I think he'd do well in the Premier League for somebody like Chelsea or an Arsenal, because he'll get chances and he'll put them away. But he reminds me a bit of a Danny Welbeck sort of player, that when you're only getting 1 or 2 chances a game, you might miss those. So not for me, Morata. Adam Muniz. I'm going to do a video on Adam Muniz. I don't even know if I pronounced it right. Bordeaux player, 19, not 20 till November. 2-footed again, very quick. I think he's only about 5'6". Very creative, skillful player. Next big thing. We've been linked to him. The last thing I'd sort of read was that the deal was there to be done for him if we didn't get Mkhitaryan. if we get Mkhitaryan, I'd still like this Unis. He's got the potential to, in 2 or 3 years' time, be one of the best players in Europe, and I would like him at Manchester United. I suppose and you've got to think about this, I think it's what happened with Embolo, funnily enough, because people clearly haven't listened to what I've said in previous videos. Embolo was, Ori7 says, Unis reminds me of a young Eden Hazard. I think that is absolutely perfect if you haven't seen anything of him. And granted, I have not seen this lad play other than a few clips, but he's the way you can sort of pick up on a player quite quickly on what they're like on their ball and their body movement, and he is similar to Hazard and very, very two-footed. But the Embolo deal, what happened there is that Manchester United were interested, but they couldn't offer him first-team football. Schalke could. He's gone to Schalke. And Manchester United obviously didn't follow up that interest. Unis might be the similar sort of thing. Might not be able to offer him first-team football. He probably would be offered it somewhere else, and we might miss out on him. But I would like that deal to be done because, again, he fits into that sort of Anthony Martial area where he could come in, no pressure, develop. I'd like that deal to be done, definitely. Renato Sanchez, we missed out. Tyler, yeah, well, we know we missed out because of Woodward and Van Gaal, don't we? That's been basically confirmed by everybody, including Bayern Munich. Mark, will Mkhitaryan play centre attacking midfield? I don't know. I expect Rooney will do that. Travis Sinclair, I don't know what you're mentioning that for. Dele Alli, Renato Sanchez chose to go to Bayern because they didn't 1 minute videos. That's not what happened. Schneider instead of Rooney, Mark. Mourinho does like Schneider, but I think it's just bad press, really, linking him to him. William Carvalho says below. I don't think that's going to happen. Dele Alli, should we play Mata in the net? The thought of Rooney playing 30 games kind of worries me, says Leon. Do watch the Rooney debate we did last night. That was really interesting, I think. Thomas Muller is a must, says Matthew McConnell. Never going to happen. The only reason we ever got close to that, he really likes Louis van Gaal. No way that will happen. And Bayern Munich, as we know from last summer, they just won't sell him. Not at all. Gomez is better than Renato Sanchez, says 1 minute video. He's having a mare. Nolan, he's been a subscriber from the start. I think we are closing in on 25,000 subscribers. I'm not going to do a video about it. That's not what we do. And I know a lot of you think that we should. Suffice to say, you know how grateful I am and everybody who does the United Stand to you lot. And we couldn't do anything without you. So I take that as a thanks to me. I think we are quite close to it. And hopefully we'll just keep growing through you lot getting involved and spreading the word. Because what I would say as well, and I wanted to mention this after the England game, is you watch England lose and you get all these players being passionate like Shearer. And I like Shearer. But then you get Jermaine Genius, who's he? And this is what this is where I have a problem with football, really, is that I think it's such a closed shop when it comes to footballers, and I think they're so out of touch. And Gary Lineker made a fantastic point, and this is relevant to what I'm coming to now. He said, England, there were people at home like us who will say, why didn't they defend that throw-in? And if you're not an England fan, bear with me because it's nothing to do with England. Why didn't they defend that throw-in? It was so obvious. Why were they playing Sturridge and Sterling on the wing when it makes no difference? When it's a bad thing. I've been wanting to do that for a long time. There we go. This is the thing about football, and this is why we do the United Stand, is because there should be people on Match of the Day and stuff, at least one representative, a fan, talking about football, because you've all got great opinions. And footballers, at the end of the day, some of them, especially the likes of Jermaine Genius, they've had their career, they've been decent footballers. It doesn't mean they're good pundits. It doesn't mean their opinion's any better than yours. And that is why we do the United Stand, because the opinion you get from fans is absolutely superb. And I think you get a lot more sense than you do from footballers, and that's why we do it. Q&A for 25,000 video, Mark, says Carlo Capella. There is something coming up that I think hardcore United Stand fans would like, and that's coming up in a few weeks. But that's very United Stand, and probably the people who've been with us for a while enjoy that, and the new people as well. Mark, please block 1 minute videos. Genius is crap. But no, in a nutshell, whether you support England, Manchester United or whatever, I think fan opinion, and that's what the United Stand is all about. The bigger we get, the bigger the voice gets. And we do respect the media and the other outlets out there and football and footballers. But fan voice, whether it's the club listening to us or the media listening to us, is just totally suppressed. And it's wrong, because the opinions you get from fans, especially you lot, is right up there. It's better than what we listen to, and you know, most of them are probably listening to a bloody script or something in their ear telling them what to say anyway. I think fan opinion is so important. Hi, Emma. Mark, you're a legend. Sometimes I just read comments and I'm attracted to it. Bay's a right back, says Kay. He could be a right back, and in which case he could end up. We definitely need to buy a centre back. Okay. Bring back Beckham's team as director of football. ASBN said 42.5 million for Mkhitaryan. That's a massive increase. Anyway, we're sort of wrapping up now. We're going for too long. We're back tomorrow. Got a guest with me tomorrow, and basically at the moment we're virtually doing videos every day. Normally around 8:30. Might do it at 9 o'clock tomorrow, but I think half eight's a good time, isn't it? Because then you can go off and get on YouPorn or whatever you all do. Yeah, we will be live tomorrow at 8:30, and Friday, fingers crossed. We need to get a signing in, don't we? And I think it will be Zlatan. We need another centre back. Need experience. We do. Jordan Curley, Mark, you're right. Fans' voices needs to be listened to. In a nutshell, if I was to do a story of the United stand, which I'm more than happy to do, show you some of the old clips, the old videos, which you can't even see on the channel now because I took them all down. Might put some of them up. It started one summer, lying on a sun lounger, thinking fans are suppressed. Fans are being suppressed in football, whether it's outpriced because they want the global fan. There's nothing wrong with the global fan, but they're just outpricing us. You know, Sky Sports has done that massive deal where the clubs are getting so much money that the likes of Crystal Palace can bid £32 million for a striker. Everyone's had their letter through, haven't they? Oh, your Sky Sports subscription's gone up by £3. Who's paying for all this? It's always the fans. Are we represented in the club? No. Are we represented on the TV, giving our opinion? No. That's why the United stand started. It was about giving a voice back to the people who matter the most, and that is fans. As recently as the late 80s, I was going to football, and it was all about the fans. Then Murdoch came along, the Premier League, they commercialised it, they did a great job, but they side margin the fans. They want the money, but they side margin you, and we've got no voice at all. And that's what the United stand is, and that's what it will always be. So please do keep getting involved. Alex, right, a few of you mentioned Mbolo. I was going to finish, but let me just finish this Mbolo thing once and forever, because there's over 500 of you watching, and you still haven't grasped the Mbolo thing. I'm gonna get out there. You know, some people do things like partner fan and things like that, and they disappear for 2 weeks and they don't apologise for trying to screw fans over. I will apologise, and I said I will apologise if I got it wrong. Right. Mbolo, the person who told me that Louis van Gaal was going to be sacked on the Saturday, before the FA Cup final had even been played, and the person who told me that Bailly was going to sign, and we put it up 2 days before anybody else did, told me that Mbolo was a done deal. So I'm thinking, and they've told me stuff before. 2 years ago, they told me about Di Maria, it was only about 6 hours before everybody else, and they work in the industry. I can't tell you what news agency they work for, but it's quite a respected one. It's a worldwide one. Begins with R. And so I had no reason not to think about it. And we don't do clickbait stuff on the United stand. You know, people are saying Pogba's clickbait, but there's a lot. We're obviously in for Pogba. I don't think it will happen, but we're obviously in for him. I'm not going to say Neymar's going to sign because that's just clickbait. So I did the Mbolo thing. I put my hands up. I did the Mbolo thing. We were wrong. We were in for Manchester United. Were in for him. The information I had, Manchester United were in for him. He wants to come to Manchester United. We're top of the queue. We're going to sign him. I was wrong. What I've since found out, and I think what a lot of you have found out, is that Manchester United did inquire about him, but they couldn't offer him first team football, so he went to Schalke. So there's the apology. That's what happened. We can move on from that. Somebody else said to me at the weekend, the Mkhitaryan deal. I said it's done. It's a done deal. It's been signed. Now, again, that may not be accurate, but that was because Sky Sports reported it. You shouldn't listen to Sky Sports. However, when a deal can be signed pending amendment, most transfer deals will be signed. If it had been signed on Monday, he does his medical on Thursday, he's announced on Friday. He still signs the deal on Monday pending the medical, because if he doesn't sign the deal on Monday, it allows people to come in and start messing around with him. That's how transfer deals work. Zlatan probably signed something like start of June before the Euros to stop other people coming in and grabbing him. He will have signed something pending a medical, and his medical probably be done on Friday, and then he'll be released and revealed, and that's how it works. But I'm more than happy to apologise about the Mbolo thing. I hope you understand what and why it went wrong. And you give me a source that's 100% right, and I'll call you a liar. Demarcio's done very well lately, but he used to get it wrong a lot, and nobody gets it right all the time. But thanks everybody for watching. We might have another 92 class of youngster coming through this season. I hope so. I want to talk a bit about the youth in July as well. July's absolutely huge. There's so much going on. You've got pre-season games. You've got transfer stuff where it will happen. People going out the door. People coming in the door. I can't wait for July. Just keep getting involved. Keep getting involved in the videos. Like the video, please, because it is all about you. I am reading a lot of what there. And Nolan's asking about United Stand merchandise. Would people ever buy it? I don't know. I'm humbled by the fact that we nearly have 25,000 people and the voice keeps getting bigger. If you want merchandise, I'm sure I can get Martin to sort some out. And we'll be back tomorrow at 8:30 live, so join us for that. But really enjoyed it. Thanks everybody for watching. And July, we've got some great stuff coming up. So, and we're not that far away now, but thanks everybody. I'm going to pop off now and watch Made in Chelsea, and I'll speak to you all later.